Zuma Must Fall rallies against South African president across the country. Thousands of people turn out in Cape Town, Johannesburg and Pretoria to call for Mr. Zuma to be recalled by the African National Congress or step down of his own volition. The daughter of Archbishop Desmond Tutu has called on thousands of South Africans marching on Wednesday to protest against Jacob Zuma's leadership to send him away. Tutu was one of many prominent South Africans, some of them friends and allies for former President Nelson Mandela, who joined the call for the South African president to be recalled or step down. The protests come after a series of major corruption scandals on his watch and days after he wiped billions of rand off the country's stock market by swapping finance ministers twice in less than a week. Decide what this land is and what it is to become, Ms. Tutu, a lay preacher who runs her father's eponymous foundation, told cheering crowds in Cape Town's Central Company Gardens. "We chose our leaders and we can send them away." She told journalists afterwards her father, who has been outspoken in his criticism of Mr. Zuma in recent years, was saddened by recent events. The beloved country would not be too far off the mark. "It's been quite distressing to see recent developments," she said. Marches in Johannesburg, Pretoria and Cape Town were organized by Unite Against Corruption and supported by a coalition of interfaith and civil society organizations. Marches by striking workers and protests by poor communities against a lack of basic services have been common in South Africa for many decades, but in recent months there has been a marked rise in large protests against corruption and the current government. Discontent boiled over last week, however, after Mr. Zuma fired Nhlanhla, a respected figure and the former deputy minister, and replaced him with Dave Van Rooyen, an MP and failed municipal mayor who is seen as a close ally of the president. Amid a massive public backlash and public threats, he then replaced him 4 days later with Pravin Gordhan, the former finance minister widely seen as a steady hand. Mark Haywood, a spokesman for health NGO Section 27, said people felt betrayed by Mr. Zuma's actions, which saw the value of the rand plummet by 5% in a matter of hours. "They feel that he has behaved recklessly with our economy and therefore with our lives," he said. "People would not be able to show that, and so we are lucky that we have a constitution which allows us freedom of expression." In a speech in Port Elizabeth on Wednesday to mark Reconciliation Day, a public holiday aimed at promoting national unity post-apartheid, Mr. Zuma acknowledged public discontent at the slow pace of change for many poor South Africans. "True reconciliation cannot be achieved simply by forgiving and forgetting," he told the crowd. "It must be accompanied by a deliberate collective resolve to deal with the material basis of social divisions such as poverty, landlessness, as well as economic inequality. If we fail to do this, we will not succeed in uniting all our people regardless of race, class, religion, culture, language and other social constructions used to divide humanity." As he spoke, crowds outside and some inside chanted "Zuma must fall." Mmusi Maimane, the leader of the opposition Democratic Alliance Party, said Mr. Zuma was part of the problem. "Now more than ever we need the requisite leadership in our country that puts South Africa and its people first," he said. Signs on the marches around the country read "We need leadership, 21 years of undemocratic rule and recall Zuma now," along with the #Zuma Must Fall March social media hashtag that marked the start of the campaign. Teresa Jorza, 55, a university teacher, at the protest in central Johannesburg, said the freedom won by Nelson Mandela and his contemporaries 21 years ago had been squandered. "We had such hopes in 1994 because of all the struggles to remove apartheid," she said. "There were good leaders in place, and support for African National Congress, ANC at home and abroad.